Hi, so my name is Satyam, and in this video we will solve problem called shuffle, right? So basically, in a given array, we need to shuffle the elements, right, randomly. Okay, but there is a catch. For this to understand, we need to understand problem. So first, let's understand the problem, right? What the problem is telling us to do. So, how would you implement a shuffle function? When passed with an array, it should modify the array in line to generate a randomly picked permutation at the same probability. So, for example, we have this array 1, 2, 3, 4. There would be possibly 4 factorial equal to 24, which is 24 permutations, right? So, which, if you see, right, there are 24 unique shuffled array, right? They are not duplicates here. So we need to um, we need to basically solve or shuffle our array so that so that our shuffled array will be one of the um, item from here, and at the same time every um, so if you can see here, like, your shuffle should transform the array in one of the above array, this we know, at the same 124 probability. Okay, so for example, let's suppose we have um, shuffled our array this 1 2 3 4, or let's say 1 2 3 4 3. If we shuffle again, there should be there will be no like 1 2 4 3 again, right? For example, there should be uniquely, right? So that was it. Your shuffle will be called multiple times to calculate the probability on each possible result, right? And test again standard deviation, right? So yeah, so because we need to shuffle array, or sorry, shuffle elements in an array in random place, right? So of course we will use a random method random, this we know. And because we need to swap, or we need to like reorder elements in a given array, we need to iterate, right? This we know. Okay, so what I'll do is, first I'll solve this problem, um, which is not right solution, but for understanding a correct solution, they sometimes you do wrong solution to understand better, right? So yeah, let's do it. Okay, so of course we need to iterate our array, right? So I'll use classic loop. Let's see, I'm sorry, let I should start from I until array dot till last element of an array. So right, and it should increment in each iteration. And let's get the random index. uh, I'll do like here, I'll say array math dot random, which basically which basically return a random number between 0 and 1. So we can multiply this by our array length. It will now give the now it will give us the number between 0 to length of an array. Okay, so, and we can float this because it will give us the decimal digit. So looks fine, I think. Now what I'll do is swap the element, right? So and we are using semicolon is because I will for swapping I will use this structure, right? So because if we don't, let's say, don't use this, right, it will throw some error that random index some, because there's some block scope thing is happening here. So after this we can just say that okay, this should be this should have their own block scoping, I think. that's that's how that's how I understood this. I don't know, maybe not correct or right, but again, that, that's not the point of uh, of this video. So yeah, I'll skip that. I'll swap element. So array, right, I can just swap element. So this will swap element, right? Array I will be array random index, and array random index on it will be array I, right? So it is swapped actually. Okay. Now what I will do, because again we need, because in the question there is mentioned that we need to modify the original array, right? So we need to change in place, so that's why we need to. So I can just return the array. Okay. Now what I'll do is test check. Okay. Okay. So now if we can see that okay, this gives us the shuffled, right? Every time it does not, it does not the array is not the same, right? It looks that it is randomly shuffling, right? Yeah, let's submit. Yeah, so it's failed. The reason, because what we are doing is here is that um, we are not like we just doing randomly. We are just doing shuffling randomly, right? I mean, that's what we really need to do, but um, because we only need to return, let's say, uh, the permutations, right? So to have um, every shuffled array should be unique, right? Like this. It won't, this here it won't give us the, give us that, right? So that is the problem here. So how can we um, solve this problem, right? So that it will always gives us the um, different or random permutation, right? So for this we can solve this by a algorithm actually. It's called Fisher-Yates shuffle algorithm. So for this need for understanding this algorithm, I have created this visualization. Hopefully this will helps us to understand in a more um, interactive way, right? We can hopefully uh, clear all the dots about this algorithm, right, and solve our this problem. Okay. So first let's understand description, right? Okay. So the Fisher-Yates shuffle is an algorithm for generating a random permutation of a finite sequence, okay, of n number of elements of, right, in an array. It works by iterating through the array from end to beginning, swapping each element with a randomly choose element before it, right? Not not we are not choosing random um, element in an array, no, right, before it and including itself. Okay, so for this to understand, right, uh, if you did not understand from the description, it's fine, right? That's why I have created this visualization for um, to like understand in a more robust way, right? So what is here, right? For example, um, we have here, let's say 10 elements, right? And what we really need to do is we need to shuffle. Okay, so because we need to understand that, because we know that um, we need to iterate through end to beginning, right? So what I will do is I'll start from end. Okay, so here our first element is 10, right? What I'll do is I'll step I'll click on the step. It will choose the random number from 1 to 9, and it chooses 9, it will shuffle that element, right? uh, Hopefully it makes sense. For example, for the next step, right? So I'll basically, it will choose random number from 1 to 10, right? So it choose the 1, it will shuffle the element, right, again. So now I'll just do start shuffle to understand more. Yeah, so now it is shuffling. Yeah, so we have shuffled this our array, or let's say n elements, right? So this is what the algorithm is actually. um, we will iterate from end to beginning, and we will choose random between we will choose random element before whatever the current element, right, what is, and including itself also. And now, and then we can swap whatever we chose random from the current, right? So this, so I think if you understand um, if you understood this algorithm, now it is fairly simple to translate this into code, right? So I'll do that, because we need to uh, start from end and it will come to the beginning. So I should be right last element, right? So -1, and it should be I is 0, right? So it will stop the iteration if we are in the first element, right? So if you can see this visualization, what we did here is that um, on first element it checked, it chose the random number, then it swapped, and then it just bypassed the first element of, right? So this we need to understand. We don't need to like check for the first element. Okay, so this is what this algorithm is actually. So this looks fine actually. So this should be I minus, right? And we need to choose a random between uh, 0 to I, right? So what I'll do is do that, because math that random gives us the number between 0 to 1, right? So we can leverage this, and we'll do just I plus 1, because we need to include itself. So this is why we have added 1 plus 1, right? Now okay, let's check again. This gives us that this looks fine actually. and we have not like changed that much, but we have changed the actual core logic, right? Now let's try to submit this and see if we got it right. Okay, we did not, which is fine. Let's try to console. Hmm. This is fine. Yeah, because we have first it done like this, which is greater than, right? So it will always be like so. It won't iterate, right? So it's fine. So yeah, this looks fine, right? Hopefully, um, maybe you understood. You get to know about the algorithm, and you get to know how can we shuffle elements in a given array, right? And at the same time, it should have some one to number of uh, to the length of to the factorial of length of array, right? So yeah, it should be unique if we shuffle. So that's what the algorithm is, right? It's called Fisher-Yates algorithm. Bye bye. Bye bye.